The following is a paid political announcement from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Good evening. Welcome to Louisville, home of the Kentucky Derby. It was Southern hospitality, Kentucky style. I've asked for this time because lately people have been accusing me of being several things I most definitely am not. For example, cynical. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, what gets me out of bed every morning is the well-being of average, everyday Americans. A lot of people accuse me of being out of touch with normal people. Well, that's just not true. Most people in this country are white. Majority of Americans are white. No one is denying that. So who could be more normal than white people? That's exactly who I talk to. Furthermore, Americans want to be financially secure, and that's just a fact. And what could make you more financially secure than being fabulously wealthy? That's not just normal, it's the American way. What has built this country are ordinary Americans with extraordinary drive and talent. Americans who have built vast empires in timber, cotton, and textiles, and in steel and railroads, and oil, and finance. It is those people, particularly their descendants, with whom I meet on a regular basis. Sure, some of the timber barons stole land from Native Americans, but you would hardly call Indians average Americans. Just look at our history. We're a nation of immigrants. Practically every American is a descendant of immigrants. Think about it. It wasn't until this year, in the 232nd year of our republic, that a member of the president's cabinet was not an immigrant or a descendant of immigrants. This year, Interior Secretary Deb Haaland was the very first cabinet member in our country's long history not to be an immigrant or a descendant of immigrants. And so, I voted against her. And yet those on the left criticize me for being anti-immigrant. Nothing could be further from the truth. And my vote against Deb Haaland is proof. It's proof. And yet Democrats accuse me of being anti-immigrant. I'm all for immigrants who come here legally. That's the key word, legally. Many illegal foreigners try to sneak across our border. Something I might add, it was impossible when all our immigrants crossed the Atlantic from Northern Europe. Sometimes my critics will say that McConnell, he'll say anything at any time and totally contradict himself 2 minutes later. Well, that's totally unfair. Completely unfair. Sometimes circumstances change. They change. For example, immediately following the impeachment trial of Donald Trump, I accused him of spreading wild falsehoods, conspiracy theories about the election being stolen, and said that there could be no question that Donald Trump was morally responsible for provoking the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Those are strong words. But I said them, and let me explain. Well, what do I mean? There is the moment in time I was operating on a make. That was full. I mean, that's what's going by grip up. And reflect now, I'm cognizant, which is that and whatever. And since then, an overwhelming majority of Republicans have made it clear that there is an alternate reality that is every bit as valid, if not more so. We now know that there is reason to believe that President Biden may very well possibly have stolen the election himself, and that he is a usurper, that any number of those who attacked the Capitol may in fact been agitators, posing as Trump supporters. If you think about it, what better way for Antifa to pose as Trump supporters than by wearing Trump caps and carrying Trump banners, and then discrediting Trump supporters by pummeling Capitol Police with baseball bats, hockey sticks, and flagpoles. The thing is, there's absolutely no reason to believe that any extraneous commission would uncover any crucial new facts about anything that happened that day. Not only that, but focusing on a one-day event instead of on the Black Lives Matter riots that occurred over the course of months and months, practically burning this country to the ground and killing untold numbers of innocent, normal Americans and our men in blue. Blue lives matter. Blue lives matter. All lives matter, including those of the unborn. What Democrats want is to take the focus of the country away from the hard work that needs to be done. The hard work of obstructing every single bit of Joe Biden's socialist agenda. That's going to require 100% of my time to stop Democrat efforts to legalize voting fraud so that they can continue to steal elections, to stop Bernie Sanders and AOC's socialist agenda to defund the police and require parents to turn their preschoolers over to radical daycare providers who will indoctrinate them to believe in Adam and Steve instead of Adam and Eve. They want Adam and Steve. And they'll force Americans to drive electric vehicles that make no sound whatsoever, so that pedestrians will not hear the speeding electric car that runs them over and ends their lives. And they'll raise your taxes to pay for illegal aliens to get free sex change surgery. That is why we can't afford to waste any time looking into a matter that is over and done. And that would distract us from the 2022 midterms. Because that's what this is really about. Democrats know that midterms are always bad news for the party in power. They would want you to be focused on what happened on January 6th instead of what didn't happen over the 2 years Democrats were in control of the White House and Congress. And if I have anything to do about it on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022, Americans will go to those polls and say, nothing at all got accomplished in the last 2 years. And they'll know that I was the guy responsible. I just hope you all keep that in mind when you go into the voting booth. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some dark money to raise. Airtime for Senator McConnell's remarks was paid for by Quid Pro Quo PAC. Quid Pro Quo. What can we do for you today? Oh, hey, Bob. Yeah. Listen, we have a state legislator in Iowa who's being a little recalcitrant. I think he could use a little money.